Hello, welcome to another Gundam Operation 2 video, and that is the new suit, the Gym Dominance Underwater Equipment, which I'll be calling the Aqua Dominance, just because, that's usually what I call the Fetty suits, where you got the Aqua Gym, which is the actual name of that suit. The Marine Gundam, I call the Aqua Gundam, and this suit, I'm probably going to be calling it the Aqua Dominance very often. And, yeah, this is a 400 General, it's at the same cost as the original Dominance, and is it as good as Dominance? Well, we'll have to figure it out now, right? And to help with that, I got two matches here for you. This first match is going to be on Colony Drop. We ended up finding Ayoshi-san to play with. If that's how I pronounce it. I apologize. But I'll probably leave a link to his channel in the description. He was one of the guys I was in the exhibition matches that I did, that I co-shoutcasted with Red Wolf Vion during that. So yeah, I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll probably maybe leave a link to the exhibition matches. If not, I'll probably leave it to Red Wolf Vion's channel. And yeah, the second match is going to be, forgot to mention, using the bazooka for the first match, because you do have different choices in primary weapons. And the second match is going to be me using the beam rifle on City Ruins. We'll be fighting against ARM in a match in raiding, because we end up finding each other on accident. And yeah, we'll see how we do. And I'm gonna be honest, man, trying to get a normal match with this was just kind of frustrating. The first match you see here was actually pretty early on, I believe a little bit after the suit was released, and yeah, I had pretty nice combos. It felt really good to play whenever stuff would work. But then, man, later on during the day, I was trying to get some matches, and just no matter what I was doing, my combos just kept getting interrupted. Just really, really unlucky circumstances. I'll say that. Like, it felt like, I'm pretty sure out of all the matches I played during the day, I think I only got off like 3 combos, and it was really frustrating to play the suit, especially since it has lower resistances, which we'll get into here in a second. But hopefully it doesn't hamper too much about what I have to say about this suit. But yeah, let's get right into the stats now. I did mention this is, I think I mentioned this is a 400 General, and yeah, again, same cost and class as the OG Dominance. And yeah, you have 15,000 health with 10 ballistic and 10 beam resistance, 16 melee resistance with 7 range strength, 38 melee strength, 125 movement speed with 190 boost speed, 65 thruster gauge, and 63 turning speed. And for part slots, you have 15 close, 17 mid, and long, 6 long range part slots. And yeah, first thing that jumps out to me, low resistances, 10 ballistic and beam. Obviously, they want you to build a little bit more towards melee with having 16, the highest of your resistances. You do have only 7 range strength, but you have 38 melee strength. So yeah, they definitely want you to go more into melee, and you look at the slots, you have 15 close. And I believe, yeah, looking at it, the stats are lower than the original Dominance, and the part slots, the close range slots, I believe, are higher, but the mid and long range are actually lower than the original Dominances. I can't remember the exact number of the Dominances at the moment, but yeah, I do know that is in fact lower. So yeah, they definitely, for builds I've done with the suit, I've really just stuck with melee on this, because if I just try to build for range strength, I feel like I'm kind of skimping out other areas of the suit, right? So I definitely at least added leg armor and some melee or melee defense. I think I have different builds regarding those two. I think for the melee strength build, I have either 57, and I think if I edit it a little bit, I can probably get to 60 melee strength, which is pretty nasty damage if you know the combo with the suit. And the I believe the other one is more of just a defense build with like 30 something melee defense, and I think again, I incorporated leg armor for both of those. I think I had enough to increase the range strength just a little bit. But yeah, again, mostly just focusing on melee with this suit. And yeah, I also got added a little bit more health in there as well, just because if I can't have resistances, I might as well just add some health, I guess, right? But yeah, now we're on to the weapons now. Starting off with the primary weapons, you have the GD Underwater Equipment Deflection BR, which is 700 damage per shot with 20% heat rate and 300 range. And this burst fires. You click the fire button. You'll do a 2-round burst. It will take 4 of those individual shots to hit. So 2 bursts. And yeah, it feels a little bit awkward to me, just the time in between the burst shots. But if you do hit it, it will be a stun, and you can actually charge this up to give you an instant stun. a little bit more damage as well. And yeah, since you have low range strength, it's not going to be insane damage, but you can use it to poke at people, try and get a stun that way. It provides you stun accumulation. But you can swap this out for just the hyper bazooka, which yeah, will provide you just a stun, and yeah, you can just go off from that. So yeah, simple as that. Which I for me playing this, I kind of just stuck with the hyper bazooka mostly, just because it was just a lot easier for me to work with. Especially because I don't really play melee suits too often, or at least ones like this where it's kind of flimsy in some areas, So I definitely just went for the easiest route possible. Just use a bazooka, get a stun, and go into some of your melee options here. Which, starting off with your first melee option, you have the GD Underwater Equipment Beam Pick, which is 1,800 damage, which just kind of confuses me because this is the same amount of damage, and I believe cooldown as well, like 2.5 cooldown, as the level 1 Aqua Gems Beam Pick. So there's like no difference between this and the original Beam Pick that both the Aqua Gundam and the Aqua Gem use. You even share the same moveset as those two suits, so I don't know why. I know that I'm pretty sure modifier works on the individual suit, right? So, okay, sure, whatever. Probably could have done something a little bit different with the beam pick, maybe just a tad bit more damage or something, right? But yeah, it's literally just the same. They could have just used the beam pick, right? But hey, I mean, it does the damage. It's really short range, but it does do the damage. The downswing is a poking downswing. Be careful though if you're fighting suits that have like Gem or Gundam frames, where definitely smaller than the Doms and Zaku's and all that. Where there can be a chance where you can just whiff your downswing depending on where they fall and the elevation and all that good stuff. So be careful with that downswing. And there's probably a few moments during these matches where I try to go for a downswing and just whiff completely. But yeah, again, it does do some good damage. Just be careful about the range. And yeah, that'll lead into the secondary weapons now. Starting off, you have the hand anchor, which is 1,600 damage. This is pretty much just the exact same as the other hand anchors, like the Aqua Gem and the Aqua Gundam. And by familiarity, that'll also be like the heat wires, where you'll just do a standing launch with your hanker. I said hanker. That's not a word. Your anchor, and you will get a heavy stagger out of it. And yeah, that'll allow for free follow-ups from you or your teammates. Easy as that. Go straight to your downswing or follow up with your other melee weapon here. The GD my bad, looking at the wrong weapon. The hand anchor blow, which is 2,000 damage, and is your second melee weapon on this suit. And it actually is a toppling melee weapon as well. It's been a while since we had that. I think the last one, oh man, I can't remember, the Bondoc, right? But either way, you will, if you do your neutral or your side swings, you will knock somebody over flat on their ass. That will lead to some really easy combos, or if your teammates are around, I believe you'll see that in the calling drop match, where yeah, you knock somebody over and my teammates just finish them up. Pretty nice. And yeah, the downswing is a sliding downswing as well, so you can slide in and do massive damage. If you're doing a melee build on this suit, yeah, you can do like over 3,000, 4,000. I think I've even seen a 5,000 damage downswing. I think that one's against a raid, but still, really high damage. Now, unfortunately, the hand anchor is it does have a longer cooldown time. So you will have to, if you're going for a full combo, right? I mean, obviously you can do something very simple, like use your beam rifle, your bazooka for a stun, go into the heavy stagger with your anchor wire, right? And then you can just bonk them with your neutral swing on this suit or your downswing, right? You can do something simple like that, go into the beam pick, really quick and dirty melee. But if let's say you're in a 1v1, you can afford just to go for the big boy damage without getting interrupted, right? You can just do the beam pick. Downswing into the, or if you want to do neutral as well, you do have two melee swings, you can probably just do neutral side if you want to. You can do that, and then go into your anchor, and then back into your beam pick for just more damage, So yeah, you can definitely do something like that. And, just the act of having a toppling melee weapon is very useful, where you can keep somebody out of the game for a little bit, so that they're not firing at you or your teammates. And especially if you do a heavy stagger, like heavy staggering somebody and then just bonking them and then moving on to your next target. Yeah, a little bit annoying for them just to have that happen to them. They're not doing anything for a few seconds, right? But yeah, pretty nice weapon. Again, really good for your melee combos. The suit is really, really good at doing melee damage. So make sure that you're trying to actively get around to that point with your weapons, is trying to get closer for your melee. And yeah, final weapon here is the shoulder torpedo tubes times 4, 200 damage, 16 rounds, and 350 range. I believe these stun in 5 or 6 hits, and yeah, they work just like the torpedo tubes that are on the Aqua Gem. They're not my favorite projectiles. They're kind of slow. They do very, very little damage. Actually, I believe these actually do less damage than the Aqua Gems at, oh man, I can't remember if it was level 1 that did 250, but either way, it's not very pretty, right? They're kind of just there just to, for at least for me, just kind of sending them out to get some extra damage, or potentially you want to get a stun with that. You can boost while using these, which is actually quite nice. But yeah, if you're looking to kill somebody, unless they're really low on health, hey, I mean, they might be good for taking out pilots. So there you go. Yeah, that'll be it for the weapons. Now we're on to the skills, and you do have a pretty, it's not, you don't have anything new, but you do have the shock is over level 2, you have a dodge roll, you have blast stabilizer, so mobile suit explosions will not heavy stagger you. You do have balancers, you have melee combo controller, which only works for your beam pick. I forgot to mention that the hand anchor you cannot swing twice, you can only swing that once. You have force injectors, which is actually pretty nice for a 400 suit to have. You can boost back and forth, especially a aqua suit as well, an amphibious suit, which I should have mentioned. You do have aquatic affinity, right? So you will move faster underwater, and of course take less thruster consumption as well. You do have radar. You have optimized cooling, which I believe takes 10% off when you're boosting or jumping off your thruster gauge. And finally, you have aquatic mobile shooting, which is what all amphibious infinity suits will get, unless you're already a suit that has the ability to boost and shoot a weapon like the Jawagu or the Zoc. But this will work on your bazooka or your beam rifle. That means you can use those weapons again while boosting. Can lead to really easy setups with your melee weapons or whatnot. Like with the beam rifle, you can use that to rapid fire, chase down somebody, or you can charge up for a instant stun. Or, like the bazooka, charge in, get a instant stun, go into your heavy stagger, into your melee, whatnot, right? So pretty simple, pretty effective though. I do wish I could play water maps a lot more often. Unfortunately, when I was trying to get matches for the suit, 400, the little special mode they have for port base, the one that's like mostly underwater, I unfortunately didn't get a chance to play any 400 special port base matches, unfortunately. I kind of wanted to kind of want to use the suit underwater, but yeah, the game didn't really give it to me, so unfortunate. But yeah, it should work pretty effectively with the suit. It's always been a pretty nice skill to have on suits like this. Like with the GPO1, the Aqua GPO1 works very well in that suit. Even though this is not a Aqua Affinity suit, the Gelgu GK does have that skill as well, and it has really good stun accumulation. It has a really fast, I believe, charge to get an instant stagger with its Zagok arm, right? So, or Zagok E, my bad. Don't want to get that too wrong, right? But yeah, that'll be it for the Aqua. I almost want to say the Aqua Gundam, the Aqua Gem Dominance. And yeah, now we're on to the pros and cons. Starting off with the cons. Something I really hate about the suit, low resistances, and you do have, because you don't have any leg buffers, you do have some pretty weak leg health as well. This is the biggest issue I've had trying to play this suit, where just, man, you just get whittled down so easily, it feels like to me. Maybe it's just because of the quality of the matches I've had, where, again, I mentioned earlier that I've had really bad luck, or have had bad luck trying to play this suit, trying to get into combos, and, I just get hit and by either beams or ballistic weapons, and I'm just getting melted. Now, I did remedy the leg issue by putting on leg armor, so you can definitely do that if you want to. It will help out. I haven't ever since I put on leg armor, I haven't really had an issue with leg breaking. But probably because I put level 3 on, but but yeah, definitely the low resistance it's a huge boon on this suit. Another thing is I feel like the Gem Dominance has a better sub weapon, or better couple of sub weapons going for it, where you had the bullpup machine gun and the grenades. Now I'm just not a fan of the shoulder torpedo tubes. I just don't like them at all. I feel like they fire way too slow for the kind of accumulation they have. I feel like they should be faster, and I think that kind of goes with the regular Aqua Gem as well. It's probably just not to me. It also doesn't do a whole lot of damage, which I guess can be another downside for the suit as well, is that you have really low range strength. Now, that's just because, you're kind of using your weapons to get into melee, and it'd be kind of gross if this suit had really high range strength to go with the melee strength. But I do feel like at least some of these weapons should be doing a little bit more damage, just a little bit, like the torpedo tubes. But yeah, those are kind of the major issues I've had with the suit. Now on to the pros. The pros are the suit has really great melee combo, and really great melee combo, really great melee combos, and really great damage as well with those melee options. Another kind of slide in another pro in there is that your weapons are, or I should say the anchor arm, right? The big bonk hand, that is also a really good positive weapon where it causes toppling, which is very useful to have in situations where you kind of need somebody down at the moment, right? Or move on, hit somebody, move on to the next target, so forth. Have your teammates deal with the enemy that you knocked over, all that good stuff. Get some nice pursuit assist, right? So yeah, definitely some pretty good pros for melee. You do have the wire version of your anchor arm, right? That will provide a heavy stagger, makes it easier to go into your combos, or if a teammate's around, to fire at the person that got heavy staggered. So again, more pursuit assist. So yeah, pretty nice set of melee things going on here. Other things, you do have a pretty versatile primary weapon with the beam rifle. You do have some pretty good weapons where you have just your basic instant stun with the bazooka, or you can have at least some sort of stun accumulation they can charge into an instant stun with your beam rifle. So that's fine as well. You do have aqua affinity with this, or water affinity. I keep saying aqua, make it sound more fancy, right? The aqua affinity. But you do have water affinity, so if you're in a water map, you will have the advantage of having less thruster consumption being consumed when you're boosting around, and being faster underwater as well, which works pretty well with the suit, having force injectors and all that good stuff. Allows you to zip and zoom. Yeah, I think that's it for now, and that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want, I'd really appreciate it. And type up in the comment section how you feel about the Aqua Dominance. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And for me, it's not really the kind of suit I want to play. Again, I've had just terrible luck playing this. Maybe if I give it a go again, I might get some pretty good matches out of it. I recognize it has some really great melee, but man, just the resistances and the lower part slots, and just, for me, more worse sub weapons compared to the original Dominance. It just doesn't really speak to me, really. Now, there's probably some people out there that kind of like to play some of these kind of suits, like lower resistance wise, but have really high melee damage. Oh wait, they're called raid players, but no. You guys probably might enjoy the suit a lot more than I am currently enjoying it. But again, there's some moments where when everything starts working together, you can do some really great things, like that first match. Working with the team, it felt really amazing to get those team combos off, or set up 4 teammates. So, or even save some teammates. So, yeah, I guess that'll be it. And hopefully we get some more amphibious suits. And they did release a amphibious part if you're doing the what do they call it? Those little special missions, right? The operative missions, operation missions, one of those, right? But they do have a part that will give your suit water affinity, which is going to be crazy because I wish we got more chances to play water maps, but man, imagine. Actually, no, I don't have to imagine. Taro already told me. You have like the Sinanju or the Rebalu with that one skill where you take less thruster consumption when you jump and then boost. Imagine that underwater, or imagine suits with like flat boosters now having water affinity, and or suits like the Alice system. on the I say suits like the Alice system, suits like the XS with the Alice system. Oh man, there's a lot of gross applications of putting water infinity on some high cost suits. Uh, but yeah, I we'll have to get there when we get there because I don't have it yet. I'll have to work up to that point. But oh yeah, there's gonna be some real gross things you can do if you're going underwater. But yeah, that'll be it, and I will see you guys later. Bye.